Most people think wealth starts in the bank account, in a job title, or in some lucky break they haven't had yet. But that's not where it begins. Wealth always starts in the mind first. Before there is money, there is thought. Before there is income, there is belief. And before there is financial change, there is identity change. The uncomfortable truth is that two people can be given the same opportunity, the same tools, even the same starting point. And one will build wealth while the other stays stuck. The difference is not intelligence or talent. It's how they think about money, value, and themselves. Your mind is constantly setting invisible rules for your financial life. It decides what you believe you deserve, what you think is possible, and what risks you're willing to take. If you secretly believe money is hard to get, you will unconsciously avoid situations where money flows easily. If you believe rich people are lucky or greedy, you will distance yourself from wealth-building behaviors without even realizing it. These thoughts don't feel like decisions, but they are. They quietly shape your actions every single day. Wealthy people don't just have more money, they think differently about money. They see money as a tool, not an emotion. They understand that money is not something to chase, but something to attract through value creation. Meanwhile, many people stay stuck in a survival mindset. They think in terms of bills, shortages, and limitations. Their focus is always on what they lack. And what you focus on expands. If your attention is constantly on scarcity, your decisions will reflect scarcity. Here's something most people miss. Your income is often a reflection of your identity, not your effort. You can work harder than ever and still feel stuck if your internal identity hasn't evolved. If deep down you see yourself as someone who just gets by, your actions will always align with that belief. You might sabotage opportunities, hesitate when it's time to take risks, or settle too early because anything beyond your current identity feels uncomfortable. Changing your financial life starts with changing the way you see yourself. Not in a fake or motivational way, but in a practical, behavioral way. Ask yourself, what would someone who is already financially free do differently than me today? They would likely think long-term instead of short-term. They would learn skills that increase their value. They would say no to distractions that don't pay off. They would invest time into building assets instead of only trading time for money. Most people try to change their money situation first and hope their mindset catches up later. But it never works that way. The mindset always leads. If you don't upgrade the way you think, any financial improvement will eventually plateau or disappear. That's why some people win the lottery and lose everything. The money changed, but the thinking didn't. Another powerful truth is that wealth is built in decisions that feel small at the moment but compound over time. The decision to learn a skill instead of scrolling. The decision to build instead of consume. The decision to stay consistent when nothing is happening yet. These are invisible choices, but they are shaping your future income more than any single paycheck ever will. Your environment also plays a massive role in your mindset. If you're surrounded by people who normalize struggle, complaining, and financial stress, your brain starts to accept that as normal. You don't even question it anymore. But when you expose yourself to people who think differently, who talk about investing, building, and growing, your internal standards begin to shift. You start to realize that your current reality is not your limit. It's just your starting point. Wealth is not just about getting money. It's about becoming the type of person who can consistently attract and manage money. That requires mental discipline. It requires you to break old thought patterns that keep you stuck. It requires you to stop reacting emotionally to money and start thinking strategically about it. One of the biggest mental shifts is moving from "how can I survive this month?" to "how can I increase my value long term?" Survival thinking keeps you trapped in urgency. Growth thinking pulls you into expansion. Survival thinking reacts. Growth thinking builds. And wealth always comes from building something that outlives your immediate effort. The truth is, your current financial situation is not a life sentence. It's a reflection of your past thinking, not your future potential. That means it can change, but only if your thinking changes first. If you upgrade your mindset but keep your habits the same, nothing changes. If you upgrade your habits but keep your mindset the same, you eventually fall back. Real wealth requires both, a new way of thinking and a new way of acting. So the question is not just how do I make more money? The real question is, who do I need to become to consistently create more money? That shift is everything. Because once your identity changes, your behavior follows naturally. You don't have to force discipline when it becomes who you are. Wealth is not an event. It's a direction, and it always starts in the mind before it ever shows up in reality. The sooner you understand that, the sooner everything starts to change. If this made you rethink how money actually works, comment the word mindset below. That word is going to represent the shift you're starting today.